Welcome to another Coffee with Samso. We're here at the University Club here in Crawley on the campus of the University of Western Australia. And I've got Riedel Resources Limited here today with us. Code is RIE. David Groombridge is the CEO. Market cap currently at 12.35 million. Share price short of 0.6 cents. So the last Coffee with Samso was in May this year. David, welcome back.
Thanks, Tom.
Look, a few things have happening. Obviously, we can see from the announcement. Give us an update.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I guess in the last 3 months since we met up, we've done a drilling program aimed at our Tintic prospect, which has been a resource drill out predominantly. And we've had 3 announcements come out during that time. We've drilled about 4,500 metres now as of today. And we'll probably drill another 500 metres to kind of round out to the 5,000 metre scale by the end of this month. So yeah, it's been a good program so far, and yeah, we can talk through the results.
So when obviously that's done, I mean, I remember you guys coming saying, look, we're about to embark on the drilling program to get a mineral resource. Can you give us a summary of what your thoughts are since the drilling? Obviously, there's new learnings that you've had. Just give us sort of an idea of what do you see Tintic and the Kingman Project as today?
Yeah, so I guess to start with, the drilling has confirmed the position of the mineralisation, both along strike, down dip, and most of the drilling has been for the resource, so it's like a pattern drilling, so it's really confirmation that it, where we know the mineralisation is. A lot of the learnings that we've gained is that it's still open along strike to the north, it's still open along strike to the south, and we are seeing it down dip as well. The grades are different as you go down into the fresh, but the structure is remaining consistent, so the learnings have been overwhelmingly positive so far.
So obviously the main structure we talked about in the past has been the Tintic and Jims, the untested corridor. Yep. How is that visibility at this point in time?
So the structure is there. We're drilling quite a few fault zones in the southern area. It looks like the mineralisation has been down faulted to the west side, and that's evident in the cross sections from our 3rd announcement in September, middle of September. And there's some really good results near that fault. And we're trying to work out now where we go to from there, because it looks like there could be a lot of potential going up dip. And then we'll progress a few more drill holes to the south before the end of the campaign. So that structure is there, and we're yet to kind of go down towards Jims, but that's going to be drilled in the next week, I imagine. Yeah.
Okay. And obviously I mentioned, you're getting a lot of base metals in your results, and then you've got your copper porphyry, which is not far away in Mineral Park. Do you guys starting to see any resemblance to that? Is there any association to potentially you're I wouldn't say a porphyry, but some sort of relationship to that kind of system? Yeah,
we're definitely in a classic intermediate sulfidation system. So we've moved out from the porphyry, the fluids have cooled, they've been following these structures. In your mind, in a perfect world, it's going along that Tintic Jim structure, which trends straight to Mineral Park. And we're in that distance where you start getting base metals and precious metals drop out of the system. The Mineral Park is obviously our main idea of where the fluids are coming from, but we're still quite blind. There's a lot of alluvium that have come down from the Surbat Mountains, and they're kind of covering that area. So there is potential for another porphyry in the system, because we're about 10 kilometres from Mineral Park. Mm-hmm. And you look at every other kind of porphyry deposit around the world, you got multiple stocks, multiple mineralising events, and we just haven't explored. There hasn't been the drilling to chase up another porphyry, but that's a long-term exploration play for us. Mm-hmm. Our focus is the intermediate high-grade gold sulfidation at surface, and we can look at other examples from Mexico and Peru of these systems, and they do get better at depth, and we're just trying to work out where we are in that elevation system. So we are in the system, it's a big system, and understanding that is important.
Because it's clearly that you have not your typical high-grade gold deposit in the sense of the other elements you have. Like off air, you were saying that some places you got like 20-ounce silver grade and things like that. So the base metal side, that silver side, is obviously feeding within the system. Have you guys sort of stepped back and thought maybe this is something that you need to look at more? Obviously, it's a atypical exploration play, right?
Yep.
It's not your walk up and let's drill that section.
Yeah, it's trying to work out the structures. It's all structurally related, and a lot of the historical mines are vertical, sub-vertical, whereas Tintic is very shallow. So automatically you kind of think, well, where's the controlling structure which is allowing fluids to come up? They find these gabbros which are important because there's an interaction between the gabbros and the fluids geochemically, and you'll have mineralisation with veins on both sides of the gabbro. So some of our drill intersections, you'll see it go through and you'll see nothing in the middle. It's because there's a gabbro dike there. It's still elevated in base metals, but it's trying to find these structures. And
I guess in terms of exploration, the market tends to, and I've said this many times, the market seems to think that this is done in measured in weeks, and we've been in the game long enough to know that this happens in years, right?
Yeah, and drilling. So we've been drilling since 2019. So this is the 6th drill campaign so far, and I guess during COVID it was probably a bit slower, especially with the border shut and the projects in Arizona. But it takes at least 5 to 10 years for a project from first discovery to get drilled out, to get the resource out, to go through permitting, to then build that. It takes a long time. We're hoping that Tintic in particular will be shorter than that, because we're not going to be building any infrastructure. Like, it's going to just to be a toll treatment sort of mine where we'll take the ore to another party and get it treated there.
Okay. Yeah. Any regulatory agreements, issues, any new heritage agreements that's popped up and kind of stuff?
Not in our area, no.
Okay.
It's all pretty straightforward in terms of the permitting process.
Yep.
We've started our initial discussions with the BLM, which is the Bureau of Land Management, and we're still on track to apply for permitting next year once the resources is completed and we know what areas we're going to go and mine.
It's very interesting. Obviously, COVID sort of created an artificial bull run. We're kind of in a situation where quite normal for juniors.
Yep.
In terms of devil's advocate kind of questions, what for Riedel, in regards to Riedel, obviously, what could give investors reasons to worry and celebrate your story?
To worry about, probably the financial risk going forward with the exchange rate. That's our biggest issue. So there's been a lot of talk about the Australian dollar going down to 40 cents. If that happens, it gets harder and harder to fund a meter with a drill rig. And to look forward to is that we almost completed the resource drilling, so a lot of that is going to be out of the way, and we're focusing on the resource and then the permitting side of things. So when that comes to fruition, we should be mining hopefully in 2025 and have gold coming out at that point. Yeah, so there's a short-term risk for us, but most of our drilling has been completed, and there's a lot of upside at Kingman.
Okay, so going forward, I guess, in terms of where Riedel has in the projects, is there any acquisition that you guys might be thinking of? Like, obviously you're settled in the US. A lot of juniors have gone to Canada and became the James Bay lithium space. Is there stuff that you guys may be looking at in the US or
Definitely.
In that region?
Definitely. There's a lot of historical workings, and they might have a small patented lease on it, and a lot of the ground around them is unpegged. Arizona and Nevada are very attractive for that. And there's prospects I'm looking at every single day, pretty much. So it's very, very exciting. At the moment, we're just kind of waiting because it is a point where we just need to put all our attention on the resource and get that completed. But yeah, we are looking around and seeing what else is available.
And when's the magical date for that resource to come out for guys?
By the end of the year. We're trying to pencil in end of November, December at this stage, and it's on track. Yep, as long as the assays have a good turnaround, as always. But the US it's been pretty good so far. So we've been getting 3-week turnarounds, which is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. It's a good update. I mean, the market. Well, from Samso, we haven't seen you guys since May, but thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
As usual, you walk away with the price of 2 coffees.
Lovely.
From courtesy of Florence Drummond and KIC, the organisation. And till next time, thank you.
Thank you very much.